Check, check, check. Here we go. Check, check, check. Here we go. Let's keep going with it. Let's keep going. Whew. All right. Sorry for the delay in getting back to everybody and having another stream. But there was a bit of let's turn this down a little. There was a little bit of delay, bit of things happening in my life, family wise, people wise, life wise. You know, we can't let life stop us from doing the things that we love. And I love doing this, and I love talking with everybody, and I love explaining things about business to everybody. I don't know if people realize this, but they soon will. Just how long I've been around and how much I know about these types of things, such as what we're going to talk about today, like the reason of Black Friday. What is Black Friday? Who knows? Well, I'll tell you what it is. Just bear with me, and we'll get to it. And I'd like to thank everybody that coming back and viewing the channel again. And if you ever everybody notices, we have a little phone number down there, and it is 226-333-1587. And feel free to call in. If you have any questions, if you're an entrepreneur, if you'd like to know a little thing about some things, if you want to talk about some things, or if you want to prank call me, go ahead. I can handle it. Whatever. Call in. It'd be hilarious. I worked the phones my whole life, and if you're in sales and if you've seen some of these streams in the past, and you better be comfortable working the phones. So feel free to call in. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and call in. If you have products and you have business and you want to do some business and you want to sell some things, let me know. Free advice. I just want to see everybody succeed. We're a different type of corporation. We're a different type of business. We want to make sure that everybody has an equal opportunity that is in business today, and entrepreneurs, and they'll have an equal shot at it. So, without further ado, let's get to everything here. I'm gonna expand this up. That looked a little funny. My arm was cut off here. I'll do this. Whoop, that's not what I want. Oop, that's what I want. So now we can do this. Now you can see my left hand. And before. So, I really appreciate everybody showing up, everybody chatting, and coming in to view the channel. And let's talk a little bit about some business. First order of today, we are going to talk about what this whole Black Friday thing is all about. Where did it come from? What is Black Friday? Why is it called Black Friday? What is Black Friday? Well, Black Friday is nowhere near as exciting as people hope it is, and I think people think it's a little different, and I think people think that there's some, not so nice things that are about it. But I tell you, it's nowhere near as exciting as you think. Um, it's actually an accounting thing. Did you not? It's an accounting thing. I'm just gonna adjust my color so I'm not so white. By the way, I'm super white, so I'm gonna adjust this so I'm not so. Look at that. Not quite as white. I'm still not there yet. Let's get a little better. Properties are always properties available. Always properties available on the camera in the box. Try this, shall we? Gain, that looks good. That looks good. We're gonna drop it down a little bit. Oh, that's no good. It's a little better. It's fine. I'm not gonna hide how pale I am. I'm super pale. Whatever. Work inside. Work in a desk all the time. Gonna get that. So, so back to the reasoning behind why it's called Black Friday and what is Black Friday and what is the history of Black Friday and the whole thing about Black Friday and why it's nowhere near as exciting as people want to make it out to be. Well, I'll give you the rundown right now. Black Friday is actually because in retail, it takes that long when you start your fiscal year to begin. When you start your fiscal year, by the time you get to about this time in the season, you've paid off all your overheads, all of your inventory has been paid off, your cycle of as inventory has come through, and right about now, around this time of the year, if this is your fiscal year end, which is I doubt that every single retailer has the exact same fiscal year end, which is unlikely. So there's only so much truthiness to Black Friday. But Black Friday, all it means is that once you get to this point in your business, in your retail business, you are no longer in the red because you've paid everything off and now you're in the profit zone. You're now in the black. I know. Nowhere near as exciting as everybody thought it was. But that is the exact reason why it's called Black Friday. It's nothing to do with anything else. That's what it is. The reason why it's called Black Friday is simply from an accounting perspective. Sorry, I thought people might think that it was somehow different or more exciting, but it's not. So I hate to burst that conspiracy theory if there ever was one on that topic, but yeah, it's nowhere near that exciting. So let's talk a little bit about retail and how it works. Well, retail is a really difficult business to be into, and we're going to get into the e-commerce market eventually soon throughout this broadcast. But the retail market is very different than what it was. It's today than what it was 50 years ago. The retail market is used to be, a lot of little stores all over the place in downtowns and things like that, and which was really great. I mean, you had little small businesses selling products and being the supplier to their local communities, which is wonderful. And that was a great time. And there still is some of that out there, but not as like what it used to be. Nowadays, retail is very much big companies are into retail, and they're, especially with the pandemic and the malls being having major issues, and the malls being squished down and closed all the time. You're driving more people to bigger stores that are open for longer, more convenient hours. Um, Further to that, things like grocery stores and pharmacies are now kind of getting into that market space where they used to be just like, we just sell food or we just sell, you know, medicines and, pharmaceutical products. They're starting to sell groceries. Well, the pharmacy companies are selling groceries now. The grocery companies are selling like furniture. Like there's the lines have now blurred between what retail used to be. So you do this, you do this, you do this. It's no longer like that anymore. It's now segmented across, the market space, and retailers are, you know, all becoming sort of one-stop shops. And they kind of have to be. The big retailers kind of have to be if they want those extra customers to, instead of leaving your location, which you've already spent so much money to get them in there, to leave and then go buy something somewhere else. You've lost that sale. You have this floor space, you have the eyeballs there, you have the people on the floor. You might as well sell them other things that they want. So, I mean, within reason, like I don't think you're going to see a Best Buy selling milk. Um, you know, that's unlikely. They might sell some like delicious chocolatey milk products at the counter. That's an option. And you probably will see that at the little fridges that they have, provided that it's a Coca-Cola or vis-a-vis, you know, whatever brand that they happen to be have a signed deal with, uh, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, whatever one of those, probably one of those two, Red Bull maybe, I don't know. But that's the thing. Companies now are now one-stop shops, and the big retailers are one-stop shops, and that's where why you're starting to see, grocery stores getting to patio furniture, everything flowers, and they're getting into, they'll have some video games there, they'll have some, all sorts of stuff there. Like grocery stores are now becoming super centers, and like case in point, Walmart is now a superstore that sells everything. Like during this pandemic, and folks, let me just explain this here on our personal feelings on it. This pandemic has been rough for everybody. Um, it's unfortunate, but it was kind of written in stone already how these bigger retailers just sort of fell into that space of they're already going down the one-stop shop, and the pandemic didn't do any favors to their competition. So the bigger guys got bigger, and they got their one-stop shop became a real one-stop shop, and they had the floor space to do it. And floor space in retail now is so expensive. So, like, considering that as we talk a little bit about e-commerce and the reality of e-commerce, I guarantee you it's not what you think it is. And the reality of e-commerce is it's not all that it's cracked up to be. Um, the bulk of all of these retailers, um, they're all most of the commerce is coming from still bricks and mortar retail. That's where it is. Okay. So Black Friday is really kind of makes it's I can't understand why Black Friday makes sense with e-commerce companies, but realistically, the fundamentals of Black Friday, being that it's an inventory control for accounting purposes, it kind of only makes so much sense for a warehouse style store that doesn't have a retail space. It's kind of a retail thing. If you can fit way more products in your location, then the cost to carry each product becomes a lot less. So, e-commerce giant warehouses that have, you know, 5,000 of the same televisions, okay, the cost to store the televisions is spread out over a much larger space or spread out over a much larger number. So the cost of each one is much smaller because you don't have to have a retail floor. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be expensive. Like a warehouse is a warehouse. It's a concrete floor with some racking in it and you fire it on there. You don't need like, consumer washrooms. You don't need any of these, fancy lighting or, mopped floors or anything like that. You don't have to, you're not worried about that stuff. You're simply just a location to hold the product. That's all it is. So Black Friday, when it's on e-commerce wise, kind of doesn't make any sense. But I get it, and it's has evolved from what it used to be, which was an accounting event. So hey, look, guys, we've paid off all of our inventory. We're not buying any more inventory for the rest of the year. Let's just clear it out what we have and let's cash out and let's get our money out of it, right? We'll drop our margins because we've already paid for it all. So we no longer need to worry about margins as much, right? So they're gonna sort of just bloat the inventory. So that makes sense for retailers because part of the cost of having a traditional retail location is you have to pay for staff to work the floors. You have to pay for staff to talk to people, to educate people, which is one of the beauties of traditional retail is that you get to walk in there, you get to experience somebody who knows what they're doing and knows what they're talking about, and you get to do so. Um, and touch and feel the products and the goods that you're looking to purchase. So that's one of the reasons I'm still a fan of traditional. Now, that's to say that e-commerce isn't becoming the gold standard for retailing now, or at least a location where every manufacturer producer needs to be on. I'll tell you that. But also, e-commerce isn't as big as people think it is. E-commerce is still, even after this pandemic, or while this pandemic is going on, e-commerce in the US was like 18% of the commerce, 15, 18% of the commerce. It's different around the world. Canada was like 12% of commerce was done online, 10 to 12%, right? It's sort of changing a little bit after this, as during this pandemic, way more. It's gone up to 25, 30%, in some cases, but who's to know? Like, the data, it's so fresh that there's no real data on that yet. So I mean, I'm just estimating that the e-commerce will have grown at least 20% or more. So I believe that e-commerce, after even after the pandemic's gone and everybody's sort of back to normal again, I think it's still going to be 20 to 30%, but no more. 30%. And companies like Amazon are the first to tell you, will be the first to tell you that they don't have 100% of the market share for commerce. There's no way. There's not even close. They'll be the first to tell you that they have a smaller piece of the pie that they're fighting for. They're fighting for an e-commerce market that still is, 20% of all commerce. So, and they are a portion of that. So, as big as Amazon may be, they're still a small portion of commerce. So there's a couple of issues that are sort of come up with e-commerce. Let's get into this little music here. You guys want to listen to music while we do this? So that was a little bit of Black Friday and the reason for and what Black Friday was. So let's get a little bit of music going in the background here, okay? I like this tune. Remember, this is all copyright-free music, by the way. Look, don't believe me? See? Oh, you can't even see it. I've trimmed my thing down. There it is. See? No copyright. Right? No copyright. You hear that? Twitch, YouTube, it says right here, free use, no copyright. Okay? Still good tunes. Oh, and when commercials come up, we're going to watch them. I don't know if commercials even will come up. We'll see. But we want to say thank you to DGTV, Damon Gaming TV, right? We appreciate you putting this music out there. And they have merch, Get Fire merch now. They're on Etsy. See, this is the music that's playing. Should we buy something? Should we buy something? I don't know. Do you think we should buy something? We should start buying some stuff. God Synth. I like that one. Neo Tokyo. All right. Neo Tokyo. DGTV. Where's the... These are the only t-shirts you have? Are these t-shirts? What are these? I want to know if these are t-shirts. No, these are t-shirts. What are these? There's pictures? Wall decor. I don't know if I want wall decor. That'd be cool though. I'd put up all over the office. Okay. I can deal with that. Anyways, that was their little thing. So, let's turn that down just a little bit. So, Now let's talk a little bit about the reality of e-commerce and where it is today and where it's likely going to be over the next 5 to 10 years. So before we do that, since this is a Commerce and Cocktails event and Commerce and Cocktails broadcast, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the cocktails that we're having. Well, we're going to be drinking some vino. We started it now. This is a Pinot Grigio, Argento, the best $10.95 wine I've had today. We're going to pour this. No, are you allowed to drink on streams? Whatever. We're going to do it anyways. So, seeing how as many of my clients are that I used to work with or that I still work with over the last several, months, have all asked me the same thing. Now, as many of you if you look on the website that's at the bottom here, down there somewhere, feel free to call in, by the way. Go to the website there, check it out. You will see that we are involved in traditional retail, and traditional retail is still the biggest market space, but more and more of my clients are asking us, like, what about Amazon? What about e-commerce? Like, we haven't done that yet. Well, there's a good reason why they haven't done that yet. You're thinking, well, who crazy? Who doesn't have Amazon stores? Who doesn't have an e-commerce store or anything like that? Well, lots of companies don't. Lots of companies don't for very good reasons. One of the reasons being companies are not, especially suppliers and producers, they have a network already of customers that they use. And a lot of times, unless you have the right agreements in place, you will come off, if you put on a sale or you do anything on e-commerce and you are going directly from producer, if you're a producer or a brand, you go right to the consumer, while you're cutting out that entire network of layers of retail. And again, retail, traditional commerce is still the bulk of almost every producer. That's where their income is. So when you go directly from a producer directly to the consumer, well, you miss all the people in between, and your traditional network might come off as saying, well, are you undercutting me? Are you going around me? Are you trying to cut me out of it? So a lot of producers and a lot of companies that are in that sort of network and that chain of supply chain are very concerned with jumping out of it and going into e-commerce. So part of what I do and part of my job is to try to figure out that I try to figure out the happy medium. We try to work out agreements with suppliers, with companies. We try to figure out, yes, we want to still get into a traditional retail network, but we also want to make sure that we still have some type of e-commerce presence, because that percentage that I talked about before is continuing to grow. Okay, I highly doubt that it's just going to go like this and just go or down. It's probably going to go like this for foreseeable future. And eventually, when we have more companies adopting this sort of business model where they've blended together their traditional retailers, e-commerce, and they'll start to see the scales sort of in which way they're going, they're going to adapt to the market. This is the nature of the beast. We're not there yet. So don't assume that we're there, because I tell you, America, like Walgreens still does $1 billion in sales. Okay? Walmart, billions of dollars in sales. they all offer really similar things. You can find the same stuff all over the place. You can also find their stuff online, but they're well aware that there's still billions in sales that they have in commerce. So why do companies sort of shy away from e-commerce? Is because of that reason. They don't want to disrupt their current supply chain networks, and they all want to. They all know that they have to. So how do they do it properly, and how do they do it, where that everybody's happy? That's the $1 million question. And that's where we are now, and that's where we're going to be for the next several years. A lot of companies have sort of gone away from traditional retail, i.e., Tesla. Now, Tesla is an e-commerce company. They're an e-commerce car. You buy your car from them online. I mean, they're not sold on Amazon yet, but Tesla will likely be sold on other platforms, on the e-commerce platforms. Why would they not at least market or have some type of network out there? So you have to see that, like, that whole production company is their primary revenue, or their primary sales locations are the internet. Now they're starting to open up more. They're starting to open up more, traditional retail networks, but right now they're still just e-commerce, and for the most part around the world. And in many cities, especially in Canada and around there, you don't walk into a Tesla dealership and see the 1,000 cars that you would normally see on like a Ford parking lot or Ford lot, or like one of the domestic cars. Like you go to a dealership in Texas, some of those Texas and, like, Dallas outside and Fort Worth, some of the dealerships, the car dealerships there is an inventory that is massive. There's an oceans of cars. You actually need a golf cart and a map to go and find the car that you want. I've been there. I've seen that. I've walked the lot. Well, you can't really walk the lot. They're massive. You're not going to see that with a Tesla dealership. They don't have that kind of volume, and plus their cars don't last that long on the lot. So they have a totally different way to do business, and they've come right out of the gate and have adopted the sort of an alternative way that they market. Um, we're gonna do some. Like, give me a second here. I'm gonna say hi to everybody. Hello, chat. Hello, chat. Don't forget this, everybody. Big life. So we're proud supporters of Big Life, which is a foundation that helps protect and counter poaching in around Africa, countries in Africa. So we'd like everybody who's watching this or is coming to the stream or to this video to head over to Big Life Foundation and check them out. So that's how that works. Have a quick glass of wine here. Don't forget, you see the phone number at the bottom here. Feel free to call in, ask some questions. I'm here to answer all of them. If you have any questions about business, you're starting a business, and you want some helpful advice or maybe some guidance or not, or if you just want to call in and make fun of my hair, I don't care. We're going to be around for a long time, and our client base stretches across North America, around the world, and we're excited to open up our business to other people out there and to have them participate in what we do. And we want to help you do business. So I advise everybody who's watching this, when they're shopping this year, if they're shopping and they have a favorite streamer, go to their streamer. If they like something that they sell or they have promoted, click through their stream. It's not going to cost you anymore. That streamer gets a little bit of money, and I urge everybody to do that. Click on the links, buy through the communities, buy through the people that are putting out content, is everybody needs to get a little bit of action from everybody. That's my 2 cents and my feelings on this. So as we move forward in this evening, we've talked a little bit about why it's called Black Friday. And if you're just tuning in, you're just watching why it's called Black Friday. I guess on YouTube you can reverse and go watch it again. But if you haven't and you're on Twitch and you're watching this, I will tell you real quickly. I'll give you a little up to date why it's called Black Friday. It's called Black Friday for accounting purposes. You inventory is purchased throughout the year. Your overheads and expenses are purchased throughout the year. And as you get to about this time of the year, you've paid off all your inventory and everything moving forward is pretty much gravy. So you don't need to worry. You're not buying any more or not much more, but you're really not buying any more. And everything that you sell from here on in is virtually profits. And this is really where the money is made in retail moving forward. So that's why it's called Black Friday. There's no nefarious angle. There's nothing sinister about why it's called Black Friday. Sorry. It's not anything that's super exciting. But there are some instances. What the? There's chickens. How do chickens get on my thing here? Why is there chickens? I guess they're just hanging out and eating some food. That's okay. That's okay. I don't know how they got there though. So these chickens. What's up? Are you done? No? Alright. Yeah. Still eating. There's very hungry chickens. You know, I had some of these guys for dinner last night. So, let's continue chatting about some things. The reality of e-commerce. Well, I'd like to back up some of what I say with proper claims and proper things that proper information. Look at my last searches. BlackBerry stock price. Amazon Black Friday, Cyberpunk corporations. Cincinnati Bengals quarterback. Did you hear about that? Cincinnati Bengals quarterback. You kidding me? Blew his freaking knee out. #1 draft pick last year. Blew his freaking knee out. My dad's favorite team. My dad was heartbroken. And that's to say that that's not the most heartbroken he's been the last few weeks, but this is up there. Anyways, that's too bad. This Allen fella is going to be there. I think they just got him off the street or something. So, commerce percentage, e-commerce, right there. Right there. I don't know if you can see through my head. But there you go. Very top. Right there. Changes throughout where you live, and it depends on the country that you're in. Very different. You could be in certain countries that are much higher. America is worldwide. Okay, worldwide. So America is certainly a higher percentage by a little bit. But that's because America has so many tiny little towns. Like America, like you have, some big cities, but most of your population is little tiny towns all over the place. So they're not really nearby any big major shopping centers. A lot of their population, right? Small shopping centers. But I mean, some places the nearest Best Buy could be quite a ways away. So, they got to drive. They're Walmart. There's only so many Walmarts that they have, and only so much things you get at Walmart. Unless you want a Zenith TV, You want something real nice, like a Sony, like, something like some top of the line Sony stuff, or some high quality. You're not gonna get that at Walmart. You're gonna have to go to some higher end jobby. There's just some independent stores, some specialty stores, some boutique stores. Oh. So that's the long and the short of it. That's how big the e-commerce market is. It's not as big as people think it is. It is 14.1% around the world. So Amazon is only so big. Now, of that 14.1%, Amazon has about 50% of that. So Amazon technically has around 7% of commerce around the world, which is huge. Huge. Now, part of commerce is everything, like groceries and pharmacies and automotive and kind of everything. Everything is in there, right? That's commerce. So retail commerce, if you're looking at retail commerce, it might be a little different. But I mean, that percentage, if let's look at the history of it, stats behind it. It's just Statista. Pretty reliable. There are more than 286 million active PayPal accounts in the world. You would have thought there would be more. 286 million. That's a lot, right? But it's not. The world isn't on PayPal. Look at this. This is a wild statistic. This is a wild statistic that a lot of people don't realize about commerce. It's not. As of Q1 2019, 2.72% of e-commerce website visits converted into purchases. That's it. Now that's funny that says 2.72% because that's actually lower than traditional commerce shopping. So e-commerce, it's very difficult to convert somebody on your website or on your platform to actually purchase, put it in the cart, and freaking check it out. Well, that's way more difficult than you think. It's actually quite challenging, and you need to have a lot of metrics involved. That's why these as these YouTube videos go out there with the little links below them that go to some associate deal that they have, that's why those work, because it's a volume game. So the more views you have, since that 2.72% and that small percent clicks through and actually converts, you need a lot of traffic. So when you have millions of views, small percent of those will click through. Very small percent, not a lot of them. So that's a shocking stat that a lot of people don't really realize. Okay. Look, he has a little takeaway, right? Hi, Riki. The takeaway: use your cookie standard, recognize returning customers. Yeah, turn on your cookies. You kind of have to, but now you have to tell them. Look at that. In 2019, smartphones accounted for 65% of retail sites worldwide. So if 65% of retail sites visited, and you don't have a way that people can check out smoothly with your phone, like why bother? You have to have your websites queued for your smartphone. Here, let me show you our website. This is our website, and I think it looks pretty good. I know it's not perfect. I'm sure everybody out there will say, "Well, there's this and this that are brought." This is a business. It's business as usual. This is our website, right? Little Sega store there. This is, I think, in overseas. There's the Alka Shield product, right? Well, look at this. You shrink it down. Oops. Shrink it down. Like fundamentals, people. Fundamentals. If you have a website and it doesn't have a dynamic screen setting that will adapt to phones, like you're out of place here. Look at that. right? It's funny when I added more blog posts on here, there became I lost the pictures. Oh, I've talked to the website people about that. Give me a second here. It's here, and I'll use this here. Hi. Hi. Yeah, I know it's late. I just want to talk to you a little bit about the site. Yeah, yeah. Do you think you could look into fixing it? Well, my pictures disappeared on the blog. It was on there, it looked really nice. And then once I added more blog posts up there, all of a sudden, or news, there's lots of pictures. Can you look into that for me? Okay. Sorry to bug you so late. All right. Just, let me know. Okay. Bye-bye. You don't wait to fix things. Just fix it. Get on it and fix it. Anyways. See, we have a little cart too, right? That's how much the Eco Shield is. It's not cheap. It's a good product. I can't stress this enough, guys. There's between good hand sanitizers and awful hand sanitizers night and day. Okay? You'll actually like to use this stuff. So available for Canada right now. I'll let you know, America, when we have it ready for you. So, yeah, most companies should have some form of e-commerce on there now. And that statistic that smartphones are 65% of retail sites visited. Yeah, like a Walmart, like a Best Buy, absolutely. And furthermore, I mean, guys, if you're a startup company, you're a small business, and you're trying to make it in this world, and you're trying to, and you're worried about the big guys, and you're worried about all the companies that are much larger than you, especially if you're a retail store. No, they are concerned as much about you as you are about them, but they think that you don't realize it. The advantage that you have is the ability to adapt quickly to an ever-changing market space. As a small business, you can adapt way faster than they can, and they know it. You think if all of a sudden this percentage of commerce, okay, where is it? The percentage of commerce, what is it, of 14%? E-commerce sites? Do you think this percentage here, if that went up to 85%, do you think a Walmart would be able to handle that? Do you think a Best Buy would be able to handle that? Do you think any of these major shopping centers, any of these major malls or anything like that out there would be able to handle if this number right there jumped to 85%? No. They would have empty buildings. They would have real estate just fall out the floor. All those big shopping centers that you see in New York would be vacant. There would be an existential real estate crisis if this percentage went to 85%. Now, if you have a small store, if you're a small business and you're a small retailer, you have a controllable overhead with a relatively, adaptable space where you can sort of make those switches a lot quicker. Your business is going to grow, where these bigger retailers are going to have a real tough time, and you're going to start chewing up their business. So believe me, it's not all rosy as a big retailer. They have huge real estate costs, huge real estate taxes, and they know that this is coming, and they know that this percentage isn't going down anytime soon. And it's going to take them a long time to sort of fine tune it where they have a proper retail showroom and retail size of real estate that they're using in comparative to their e-commerce, you know, uh, business. If their e-commerce business all of a sudden flip-flops, well, all those you'll start to see, Walmart employees running around pulling stuff off shelves and sticking them in shipping boxes. Like we're not there yet. We haven't seen that yet, but I don't doubt that it's happened at some point in time. Maybe not with Walmart, but certainly small retailers it does. But there again, small retailers, they can do that. They can just walk into their showroom and grab it and put it in a box and send it out. The time that the processes that they have are shrunk down to very, very nimble. So we could be seeing, with e-commerce, we could be seeing an uptick in small businesses that are able to sort of adapt and change to the growing e-commerce market space. Thanks to companies like an Amazon, that anybody can have a store. As a producer, as my clients that are producers, they have to work hard to get onto retail store shelves. Well, Amazon's a quick way for them to get out there and get a new product into the market of users and consumers and get them to sort of give you feedback. Feedback is our greatest sales tool as we see reviews, all these types of things out there. So, if you're not on we do have a Discord. I don't turn it on much. Let me turn it on here. Let's go with that. If you've come to this channel and you've seen me, you've seen us host Bomb Shelter, it's because Bomb Shelter has great music. So we like to listen to Bomb Shelter. So highly recommend Bomb Shelter to check them out. Good, very good, classy hip hop, really nice stuff. See a Stry Guys in. What's up, buddy? Anyways, so we want to talk a little bit about our Cyberpunk announcement. So we do have a Cyberpunk announcement, and Cyberpunk announcement is which faction we are going with. When we do start streaming Cyberpunk, we have to pick a faction, and one of the factions, there's the here we'll look at all. I'll show you which one we're doing. So there they are. No, just picture. Just picture. Give me the pictures. All right, well, okay, Dustin Leone. There's the Cyberpunk factions right there. So there's the nomads, and we can watch them here. Anyways, as you probably can guess which one we're going with. We're going to be corporate. So we are going full out into the corporate side, and we're going to be corporate all the way. But we're going to be a different corporation. We're not going to be the same stodgy, uptight corporations where it's substance over style. We're going to have a little bit of style in our corporation. But yes, we do have black. We do a lot of black in our corporation. But you know what? As long as everybody knows that I'm okay with a white boat. So that boat down there, there's a boat that's down there. That's mine. That one is oh, I just blew up. There, screen. Look, my boat blew up. I blew up my boat. I've got so many boats. I just blow them up. Or somebody blew it up. I don't know. But my boat blew up. It was right there. Oh well. We'll get another one. Just a boat. So we are going to be going to the corporate side, and we're going to have our company branded on it, and our guy that we have doing the game, he's going to be starting on the 10th of December, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and we encourage everybody to come in and check out the channel, and we're going to be playing it up. We're going to have merch. We're going to have all kinds of cool stuff to go along with our new faction, corporate. So that's what we're doing, corporate faction. That's all there is to it. And I'm hoping that it turns out that that Cyberpunk continues to evolve and continues to have more changes and updates and expanded maps. I love that. And if it's anything like Fallout, which it kind of sounds like it is a little like Fallout, but a lot more elaborate, a lot more in depth, a lot deeper story than Fallout, then I hope what they do with Cyberpunk that they didn't do with Fallout is create a world and they just build off that world instead of having like Fallout, Vegas and Fallout 3 and Fallout. I hope there's not Cyberpunk 2177 and then keep going from there. I was just Cyberpunk 2077, and they keep building more and building more and building. Something tells me that there still might be a hold up from now or from November 10th. So there may be another delay. Who knows? We will see. I have no problem with delay. I'd rather a delay come out and it be it take a little longer and be perfect than to have a product come out that is mediocre or glitchy. So if you're watching Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red, take your time. No rush. We're not in any rush. I hope nobody else is in any rush. We want to see a great product, see a great game. I want to support it. Somebody's read it. Block it. Six months ago. There's some backstory. There's some cool backstories. they've got some cool backstories. They've got some really cool backstories. You guys have to go to fandom operations, and you got to go to Cyberpunk fandom. These are some of the corporations. We're gonna have our own corporation, Cyberpunk Corporation, and we're gonna actually sell merch. We're gonna have products out there. You're gonna buy products from us. You're gonna be able to buy gear from us. You're gonna buy stuff from us, and it's all gonna be done through our site. And you could, hopefully we can find a way to sell it through the platform. Be very cool. But we're definitely gonna have our own product line on here and our own branding on here, and we're gonna make it. Who's a Z? Is there any Z's? See? Zeds. Well, we really hope that becomes a great game. Look at these. All these cool ones. We're gonna be on here. There it is. There's Z Attack. We're gonna have this coming out soon. We're gonna have our own logo up there. Pretty cool. So there's our big Cyberpunk announcement. Is we're gonna be on here. We're gonna be in the Zeds. You can go on the fandom to find us on Zeds, and have a backstory and everything, and you're gonna be able to see what we're all about. So, I mean, I know this was originally going to be a hour and a half stream or 2.5 hour stream. But we just wanted to sort of touch base and get into everybody's living rooms and get everybody's desktops and say hi again. Again, we had a couple of we had some things personally that we had to take care of, and we hope everybody was all caught up. And if there's any more comments and questions, and follow us, like us, do all that great stuff. And we look forward to seeing everybody soon. And I think we'll be back in the next couple of weeks with a guest. I think we have a guest the next week or the week after. But you're going to like it. It's going to be great. And we will see you then, guys. Ciao.